Hello, and welcome to Coffee with Coach. I know you would like to invite people to church. You would like to advertise. You would like to fill those pews back up like it was before the pandemic. But you don't have as much money. You don't know how to advertise. You don't know when to advertise. What do you do? How do you invite people now? Well, stick around. I'll share some ideas with you about how and when to advertise today on Coffee with Coach. I have 3 goals for these videos: to help you become a better church leader, to save you time and money, to help educate, energize, and motivate you to energize and motivate your church. So the first thing to think about is, when is the right time to advertise? And before you think I'm talking about the calendar, I'm not. I'm talking about, when is your church ready for you to advertise? Think of it this way. If you were going to invite somebody very important to your house and you really wanted to impress them, you would probably clean up. You'd take off those magazines that are sitting on the table. You'd vacuum, you'd dust, you'd clean the bathrooms, you'd make sure everything was spick and span. You would set out the best china, you would set out the best food, and when your friends came over, they would be very impressed by your living room and your dining room and the wonderful experience they had in your physical space. So, before you begin advertising, let's make sure your physical space is ready to receive people. There are several things I want you to think about. First, when you drive up to your church, or walk up, or ride your bicycle or horses or whatever you've got, when you look at the outside of the church, is it attractive? Have you kept up with the landscaping? Is the lawn mowed? Are there flowers in the flower beds? Are things green and lovely? Does it look like someone cares about the property, or does it look like the property is abandoned? This is a key ingredient. If people drive up to your place and it looks awful on the outside, they're not coming inside. They're just not. They're going to drive right on by and go to the next place. So let's make sure the outside looks attractive. Walk around your church property and look at it as if you were looking at it for the very first time. Oh, those weeds in the corner, those weeds in front of the front door. Oh, that back patch which is all brown and dead where the grass died. Fix those things. Let's make sure that when people drive by, you make a positive first impression. Secondly, if they decide to park their cars and get out, where's the parking lot? Is it easily found? Are there signs directing you to church parking? And once you found the parking lot, are there signs directing you to the sanctuary? I can't tell you how many times I've gone to a church and found that there were no signs, and that most of the church entered through one entrance, and that the front door was locked. Well, that's a good way to invite people to walk away and leave. So let's make sure that you can find the front door, or find the door where everybody comes in, so that people who are there for the first time can park their cars and find their way to the sanctuary. When they get to the sanctuary, or they approach the sanctuary, are there people there who are telling them, "Welcome, I'm so glad you're here today"? Are these people trained? I mean, really trained. I can't tell you how many times I've run into people who were not trained, who said exactly the wrong thing. Brand new person walked up on Sunday morning and they said, "Oh, are you new here?" Well, that's not how you tell people that they're welcome. That's how you tell people that they don't belong. And so if that's what your people are saying, well-meaning though it may be, you're telling people, you don't belong. You're new here. No, you don't say that. You extend a hand and you say, "I don't believe I know you. My name's Steve." You welcome them. You invite them to share names. It's a welcoming thing. So you train people in what not to say and what to say when people walk up to them on the patio. And then when they get into the sanctuary, into the narthex, and they're talking to people, are there people trained to welcome them well and make sure that they're taking care of their needs. Is there a desk out that says information, well signed, that has friendly people behind it? Now, when these people are in your buildings, they are going to use your bathrooms. If they've got children, they're going to use your crib room. Are these rooms really, really clean? I mean, as clean as they are in the brand new mall down the road. If they're not clean and they're not new and they're not fresh, I mean, if you've got rust on the parts in the bathroom, if you've got dirt and cockroaches in the crib room, people are going to take one look at that and not come back. You are not ready to advertise because you are not ready to receive people. So look at all those things. Look at your sanctuary. Is the sanctuary attractive? Is it well lighted? Does the sound system work? Then is the service engaging? Is the sermon both humorous and meaningful? Does it engage people and keep them engaged the whole time? Is the choir prepared? Is the music excellent? Do people who stand up and read know how to do that at a microphone? Are the gaps in the service minimized? We're not watching people walk. We're watching people and listening to people lead us in worship. All of these things are important. If you don't have all of them nailed down, then you are not ready to receive people into your living room, and you're not ready to have new people come. So when do you advertise? When everything is ready. I mean, not planned to be ready. I mean, ready. Everything is ready. It might take you a year to a year and a half to get everything situated in your church so that you are ready to advertise. Do not advertise ahead of time. Do not advertise and welcome people to a half-baked church where things are not ready, because they will come and they'll have a bad experience. They will never come again, and they will tell 10 of their friends that church is awful. Don't ever go there. So do not do that. Make sure that you are ready to receive people. That's number one about when. Second part about when is, well, there are certain times of the year when it is best to advertise. I wouldn't advertise every single Sunday. I would advertise big, splashy ads in the local newspaper, as big as you can afford, the week before Christmas and the week before Easter. I would tell everyone your Holy Week activities. I would tell everyone your Christmas activities. I would make sure that those were well known in the community with a big splashy ad that has your times, your address, and maybe even a map about how to find the parking lot. That's what you do. You advertise at times that people are most likely to want to come to church for a first time. Then you might advertise the week before school starts in the fall. You might advertise if you've got a special concert series. You might advertise if you've got a special sermon series. But mostly, you want to do Christmas and Easter and make sure that you are well advertised in the community and everybody knows when your special services are so that they can come to special services and they will be well received by a church that is ready to receive them. So that's when to advertise. The other thing is how. Newspapers are still good if you have a community newspaper that is specific to your community. If you're in a big city like Los Angeles and you're a little tiny church in a small community, don't advertise in the LA Times. Way too expensive. Waste of money. Find the local newspaper, a local ad source that you can advertise in. If you don't have one of those, you can always advertise on Facebook. Facebook will allow you to target your geographical area. I would look into Facebook ads. I think that's a valuable place to reach out to people who are in your community. So, when and how, make sure you put signs up outside. Those vinyl signs that have your information on them for people to see when they drive by, put it where they can see it as they drive by. Big letters, not too many words. People can't read a lot of words at 35 miles an hour or 50 or 60 or whatever they're doing. But make sure that the words are clear, distinct, and brief, and times are evident. That's all you need to say. 7 o'clock, Christmas Eve service. Keep it simple so people can read it. Advertise. When everything is ready to go and all your people are ready to receive them, advertise. And advertise effectively. Use your money wisely. And then, when people come, they will have a good experience. They will find a church that likes them, that welcomes them well, and they'll be back. Lastly, Make sure that you are ready to acknowledge that they have come. Within the first, second, and third time people visit, they get some kind of acknowledgement. Personal letter, somebody stops by, somebody brings them a cinnamon roll, some way that you acknowledge that they were there and that you like them and you have a gift for them and you'd be happy to see them come back. So you're going to acknowledge the first, second, and third time people visit, and then you're going to be able to find out whether or not they really are prospects for membership. Advertise. Get people into church. Let them know this is a church that would love to have them attend. Well, that's it for this week. If you like this video, you might subscribe or click the like button down below and look for my new podcasts.